Dr. Joseph Mengele, one of the main war criminals in history, conducted inhumane experiments on people in the Auschwitz death camp. Photo of a Soviet war veteran near the Eternal Flame on the anniversary of Victory Day, 1966. While on the North African front of World War II, German tankers developed a tradition of driving over piles of camel dung for luck. Seeing this, the British made anti-tank mines disguised as these piles. After several mines exploded, the Germans started avoiding untouched piles of dung. The British then made mines that looked like piles of dung, with tracks of tanks having already driven over them. Native American Sachin Little Feather refuses the Oscar Award, 1973. In the category of Best Actor, Marlon Brando won for his role in The Godfather. However, he refused to attend the ceremony, and instead, a Native American woman took the stage. She addressed the audience saying, "Marlon regrets not being able to attend, but he refuses the award due to the terrible treatment of Native Americans in the U.S." In 1941, Winston Churchill came to a photographer with the intent of demonstrating his resolve and determination to fight Nazism. However, the photographer couldn't achieve the desired effect, so he ripped the cigar from Churchill's mouth, which angered him. In the end, the photograph was successful and became one of the most famous images of Winston Churchill. A friendly gift, the bugging device hidden in the Great Seal. Thanks to this device, the USSR secretly eavesdropped on the United States for many years, 1945. The Thousand-Yard Stare, USMC Private. Theodore J. Miller is helped aboard a ship after intense combat on Eniwetok Atoll. Miller was killed in action a month later, 1944. Two childhood friends meet during a strike. One is a striker, the other is a police officer. France, 1972. The death stairs at the Mauthausen concentration camp were the place where prisoners carried granite stones weighing about 50 kilograms, 110 pounds, up 186 steps. Guards forced them to make up to 10 climbs a day, regardless of the heat or cold. Due to the exhausting conditions, many fell, dropping the stones on others, leading to injuries and deaths. 1943. Mark Twain demonstrates an experiment with high-frequency current passing through the human body, lighting an incandescent light bulb. A mischievous Nikola Tesla at the light switch, 1895. In 1871, American lawyer Clement Vallandigham was defending a man accused of murder after a bar fight. He built the defense on the idea that the victim accidentally shot himself while pulling out a pistol from his pocket in an awkward position. Vallandigham wanted to demonstrate this by placing a gun, which he believed was unloaded, in his own pocket. As he pulled it out, he accidentally shot himself. He died from the wound, and his client was acquitted. This is a wealthy family, 1910s, Liberia. In the 19th century, a movement arose in the U.S. to return freed African slaves to Liberia. Later, African Americans captured lands of indigenous tribes, enslaving them, and, replicating the U.S. lifestyle, became slaveholders. Inflatable bra, 1950. A German woman sits alone with all her belongings in the war-torn city of Cologne, 1945. The expiration date on milk bottles was first introduced thanks to Al Capone. After his niece became seriously ill from drinking spoiled milk, the influential Chicago gangster persistently lobbied for milk expiration dates to ensure the safety of children and pregnant women. The execution of a thief in Persia, early 20th century. This is not a statue, but a person undergoing an elaborate execution. He was tied up, A wall was built around him from raw bricks, and the form was then filled with lime. 6 hours later, the unfortunate was still alive, and a shooting followed. According to the caption, the crime was the theft of 2 cucumbers. An aerial photograph of a field where German soldiers held Soviet POWs near Kharkov, 1942. Soul cleansing with boiling water. In some Catholic countries, it was once believed that a sinner's soul could be cleansed. For this, they poured boiling water down the person's throat, or threw hot coals into it. The longest-serving man was Japanese Shigashio Izumi, who worked 98 years on a sugar beet plantation, retiring at the age of 105. The Primwaddle twins. When the husband found out his wife gave birth to twins, he was horrified and left the family. After this betrayal, Mrs. Primwaddle hated men. But unfortunately, the twins were boys. She decided to act as though her boys were girls. The children believed they were girls until the age of 19. Upon learning the truth, they decided they would not tolerate it anymore. They strangled their mother with a scarf and gouged out her eyes. Rabbit invasion in Australia. In 1859, Englishman Thomas Austin released 24 rabbits into the wild to add native touches to the Australian landscape. The Australian climate allowed the voracious animals to breed year-round. By 1926, Australia had an estimated 20 billion rabbits. During the filming of Fort Apache, many scenes required specific weather conditions, and director John Ford paid a Navajo medicine man to give him weather forecasts. Several days they were accurate, but one day the medicine man said he couldn't predict anymore. When asked why, he said that an actor had taken his radio receiver. Racial hatred. A hotel manager pouring muriatic acid into the pool to get black swimmers to get out of the pool. During the Franco-Prussian War, when the Germans besieged Paris in 1870 for 5 months, food shortages quickly arose in the city. Common products ran out, and Parisians began eating horse meat, then cats, dogs, and rats. When that meat was also exhausted, chefs began purchasing animals from zoos. After antelopes, camels, and zebras, the turn came for the 2 Parisian elephants, Castor and Pollux. By comparison, during the more than 2-year blockade of Leningrad, its residents did not touch any animals from the zoos. Scouts from Rockaway Camp grow beards in support of Fidel Castro's revolution in Cuba, New Jersey, 1963. In 1991, the famous Colombian drug lord Pablo Escobar reached an agreement with the government. Instead of being extradited to the U.S., he was to serve 5 years in prison. But ordinary prison didn't satisfy him. Escobar built himself a prison of dreams with a soccer field, a large dollhouse, a bar, a jacuzzi, and even a waterfall. A firefighter looks towards the heavily damaged Belgrade's tallest building, NATO bombing, April 1999. In 1947, boxer Sugar Ray Robinson did not want to enter the ring with Jimmy Doyle because he had a dream in which he killed his opponent. Robinson was persuaded to participate in the fight. The 8th round ended with Doyle falling after a punch from Robinson and being unable to continue the fight. He later died in the hospital. A gruesome photo from the Soviet Institute of Experimental Pathology and Therapy in Sukhumi, 1975. The first Briton caught for speeding. Walter Arnold was driving at 7 miles per hour, while the limit was 2 miles per hour. A police officer started chasing him on a bicycle and caught the offender, 1896. According to the 1897 census, only about 25% of the population of Russia had surnames. Also, many people did not know their age. The rotor carousel reached 33 revolutions per minute, creating a centrifugal force of almost 3 g. When people stuck to the wall of the drum due to the force, the floor was automatically removed for greater effect. USA, 1950s. 19-year-old Shigeki Tanaka survived the atomic bombing of Hiroshima and later won the 1951 Boston Marathon. The crowd at the finish line was silent. In 1930, a terrifying discovery was made. It was a device with a skull inside, which mimicked the contours of a human body. This was how bandits, pirates, and murderers were executed. They were hung for display until they died. Jewish refugees aboard the ocean liner St. Louis returning to Europe after being denied entry to Cuba, the USA, and Canada, 1939. Icelandic men celebrate the abolition of the law prohibiting beer, Iceland, 1989. Princess Diana in her car shortly before the fatal crash. Auschwitz concentration camp, the very furnace in which people were burned. Even if you're Winston Churchill, you can't just walk past a kitten. London, 1952. Los Angeles police stop an ostrich-drawn carriage for speeding, 1930. American and Mexican soldiers stand at the Arizona border before the big wall was built, 1915. Germany wins on all fronts. Inscription on the Eiffel Tower during the occupation. This is a dog named Laika, the first dog in space. There were no plans for her return to Earth, and she died in orbit in 1957. Emperor Wilhelm II of Germany visits black people at the Hamburg Zoo, 1909. The first strip club in London, 1958. The stump of a giant cedar used as a post office, USA, Washington State, late 19th century. The photograph shows a man examining nuclear lava, known as Chernobyl's elephant's foot. Being near it guaranteed death from radiation. In the 1940s, women were allowed to smoke in maternity wards. In the basement of the Supreme Court of Argentina, over 80 boxes full of Nazi materials were found. The most obscene swimsuits of the 19th century. The world map used by Christopher Columbus in 1492. It tested the strength of a pipe with the inventor inside. Canada, 1920. A sailor requests an extraordinary discharge, 1967. Residents of Hiroshima pray towards the epicenter of the explosion on the first anniversary of the atomic bombing of Hiroshima, 1946. Krista McAuliffe's parents watching the Challenger explode in 1986. Protesters demand that President Truman take action against the execution of people, USA, 1946. Home massage, 19th century. The Last Feat, 1991, Vukovar. A Serbian fighter carried a wounded comrade out of battle. Then he returned for another and was killed. He saved a life, sacrificing his own. In 1940, 10 teenagers aged 14 to 17 were arrested for writing to Stalin condemning the unacceptability of sending grain to Germany while Soviet people are starving. They were sentenced to 10 years in prison. Germans with local Russian women in occupied territory, 1943. December 1942. A bomb labeled New Year's Gift for Hitler. The crew of the Challenger space shuttle that perished in an explosion 73 seconds into flight All crew members died, 1986. Representatives of Native American tribes, Navajo, Papago, Apache, and Hopi, sign a document renouncing the use of the traditional symbol of luck and happiness, the swastika, in clothing and jewelry, Arizona, 1940. A fisherman's find. There used to be worm vending machines, USA, 1957. Todd Browning on the set of his movie Freaks, USA, 1932. When Stalin died, the Ukrainian diaspora restaurant in Washington served free borscht, March 9, 1953. Experimental aerocycle by De Lackner, which was not adopted for use due to safety concerns for the pilot, USA, 1956. Some of the survivors of Uruguayan Air Force Flight 571, which crashed in the mountains. The survivors had to resort to cannibalism to survive. Former prisoners of the German concentration camp demonstrate the torture methods they endured. Germany, 1945. A test of the strength of a kiss on a lie detector, 1939. Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife arrive in Sarajevo, 1914. Thank you for watching this video until the end. I hope these photos impressed you. Some may have made you angry, brought a smile, made you happy, or perhaps even caused some negativity. Feel free to leave your comments and stay tuned for the next part. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Bye.